Why do you want to win Western States?
Because I love it. I think love should drive everything. There's the whole good, better, best thing where, there's a good motivation, there's a better motivation, and there's a best motivation. And this kind of goes back to my faith as well, is love. Love for people, that's why I want to help people. Love for God, that's why I want to follow God, or whatever, faith you are. Love for Western States, love for the sport, love for ultra running, love for training, love for anything like that. That's what motivates it. And honestly, I love the process. I love being a professional runner. I love going out every day and training. It's not to say that every day is easy, but I love it. And I love the hard days. I love the good days. And to be honest with you, I love Western States. I love everything about that race. I love the community. I love the vibe. I love the trails. I love the pain that I have to go through in that race, and I crave it. I love the process of getting ready for that race. Everything about that race and that atmosphere, I love. And that's kind of where it comes down to, is there's not been a race out there that I've ran or I've been at or experienced that I love as much as Western States. And so I told myself, I'm going to prepare myself, and then when I feel ready, I'm going to run this race. Because like we talked about, that's what kind of got me started in the sport, was hearing, some local people talk about that race, and some guys that had grown up in that area and talk about it at the St. George Running Center when I was living in St. George. But as when I prepared myself and got ready and I felt ready to run that race, I went into it with just this deep love, and that love just grew and grew as I've done it the last 2 years. And I haven't won the race yet, but I promised myself when I first ran the race in 2021 that I was going to keep going back until I won it, or at least until I felt accomplished with it. I don't quite feel accomplished with it yet because I haven't nailed it yet. I haven't done what I know I can do. I've made a lot of mistakes over the last 2 years, and I still took second place, making a lot of mistakes, but I feel like there's things I can learn and I can grow from, and I can nail that race. And if I nail that race and I feel like I've nailed that race and I still end up second place, that's just what it is. But I'm not ready to give up on that race until I get to that point, because I love that race.
I was sitting on the broadcast with Dylan as you came in last year, and I've never seen that much emotion you need to be at a finish line like that to see that kind of emotion. It was super cool to see. Okay, let's say you finished in one higher position than you have in the past. What does that mean?
I guess it kind of validates all the hard work and the sacrifice that I've put in, and my family has put in, and my coach. I'm coached by a great coach named Robbie Britton. And he actually comes out and paces me every year at Western States and crews me. And we've put in a lot of thought. We've put in a lot of training. I flew out to the UK to do testing in a lab to try and dial in everything I could for Western States. We've been working with one of my sponsors, Precision Hydration, to dial in my hydration and my fueling. And they've just been awesome at sharing their knowledge with me. And I feel really good about my nutrition going in this year. To be honest with you, I feel so much more prepared this year than I did last year on every aspect.
You got the iron level up?
Yeah, exactly. Working with Inside Tracker and getting tests done with them has helped me a ton. And, it's just all these things. It's not just me that's sacrificing to get me ready for this race, but it's all of my sponsors. It's my family. It's my crew. It's my friends. There's a lot going into it. That doesn't put any pressure on me because we love it. We all love that process, and, we're having fun doing it, but it would mean a ton. And it wouldn't just mean me. It would mean a ton to everyone else. And I think that means more to me than anything is what it would mean to them, because that's why I do this sport. I don't necessarily do it for myself. I talk a lot about, the training and all this and how much I love it. But I do it for other people. I do it for the community. I do it for, the people I coach, all those different things, because man, it's just, that's what this sport is about. It's about community, and it's about just everybody coming together and being connected and accomplishing a goal.
Yes, love that. The brand stuff that you mentioned is cool. We're at a point where like you see people that are working at brands that have relationships with athletes, like crewing and pacing. I've seen Sally, one of your teammates with Koros, I believe, at a bunch of races where like Shelby's out there and at like all these people are just like crewing and pacing, and it's so cool to see. What's it like to work with like an army of people that's just there for you?
Yeah, as a team, I mean, you have to surround yourself with a team. And to be honest with you, I have an amazing team, starting with Hoka. Hoka's just been incredible for me over the years. They've supported me, in my low times and in my high times. They brought me back after I left, actually, for a year or two. And to say, for a brand to do that is just amazing. Like Hoka is just top level for brands in this sport. And I'm really excited, I'm really grateful that I work with them. Like I mentioned with Precision Hydration, they're helping me work on my Western States fueling and hydration. They've had me in the lab. They were out at Canyons weighing me before and after and going through the whole process. And they're bringing out a whole crew actually to be at Western States to make sure that my nutrition's on point and to make sure I'm ready to go. I mean, that's just incredible to have a company like that. I work with Inside Tracker, and Inside Tracker's just been top notch, man. Like I'm getting tested, frequently to make sure all my levels are up, because running 130 miles a week in 6 days with 20 to 30,000 feet of elevation gain, you're trying to do heat training, you're trying to do all that on top of that. That's a lot of stress, and it's a lot on the body, and the body requires a lot, I guess it asks a lot from you, and you need to give it what it needs, and your levels need to be up, your biomarkers need to be up. You need to make sure your iron's good, your magnesium's good, all these different things, right? And I've had low magnesium, I've had low iron, and being able to be tested frequently from Inside Tracker and see my levels, get to where they're optimal now. And I can feel that in the training. When my levels are optimal, I'm good.
Hayden said to me
I
a
feel
few weeks
great.
ago, he's like, man, I did that test a month ago and I made some changes and now I'm feeling good. And disclaimer, I work for Inside Tracker and have for 8.5 years. And the point with that is it's not just for elite athletes. It's helping you do all the other stuff. It's helping you focus on health and making sure you're not putting your health at risk while running these 130-mile weeks.
Oh, 100%, and that's more important to me than anything. Like I want to, at the end of the day, I still need to be a dad, and at the end of my career, I still want to be able to be healthy and survive and spend time with my kids as they grow up. And so to make sure that I'm healthy throughout this whole career and this process is really important to me, and then Koros, you mentioned Koros with Sally. Like Koros has just been incredible. Like, recently I did a project with them here in Boulder where we introduced a new upgrade on the app where I can map out all of my routes. And that's been key for me here in Boulder because...
So you don't get lost.
Exactly. This is a new place for me. I moved here 3 months ago. In Utah, I had
He's taking every crown on all the trails since.
No. I
Every
don't
time I
focus on that.
open Strava, I'm like, Hayden has taken, CR here and 8th here.
But it's awesome, right? Like to have companies like this, like Koros that are helping me with my training. They're helping me get to where I want to be. And I'm just so lucky to have so many people in my corner. There's a lot of other brands I can mention, Dry Max, Squirrel's Nut Butter. I work with them as well. And Kearns. Kearns is actually a new company I've been working with based out of New Zealand. It's a supplement company. Black Currant is a really health benefit, and it's a very potent black currant that Kearns uses that they harvest in New Zealand. And I'll be honest with you, ever since I started taking that a few months ago, it works. I've been feeling great, man. I've been feeling really great. But yeah, I don't want to start here and talk about all my sponsors and plug that. But what I'm trying to say is a team is very important. And surrounding yourself with the team is very important. Like when I pick sponsors, or when I pick crew members, or I pick, people to be on my team, I don't focus on the money. I don't focus on, what can they do for me? I focus on being around people that I enjoy being around and that are invested in me as an athlete and invested in me as a person. And they believe in me as a person, not just as an athlete. They let me be organic. They let me be the person I need to be, because if I can't be the person that I want to be and that I need to be, I'm never going to, accomplish the goals that I have. Because again, it comes down to balance. Balance is key. And I have to be balanced in all that I do.